Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. This is episode number 325. 325 episodes of the Immigration Answer Show. We'll be here live today and tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central. Then Wednesday, we're going to do it a little bit later. We're going to do it at 7 p.m. Central. 7 p.m. Central on Wednesday. So that'll be a good one. Oh, that's weird. Let me fix something real quick. There we go. All right. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you all had a good weekend. I had a great weekend. My son came in from the University of Virginia on Friday night. His flight was way delayed, and his luggage didn't show up. It showed up the next day, though. And then we got to go see the new St. Louis City SC soccer team take on the team from Charlotte, North Carolina, and we won 3-1. It wasn't the most amazing game of all time, but it sure was a lot of fun. And when you win 3-1, that makes it extra fun. The other team scored one of our goals for us, and we also jumped a pass between the defender and the goalie and scored that time too. So it was a lot of fun. My sons had a great time rooting for their new hometown team. Amani came with us, and even she had fun. It was great. We stood the entire game, so that was something, to stand the entire game. Haven't done that in a really long time. So it was a lot of fun. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, leave us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what immigration thing you got going on, what kind of immigration question you have. I don't usually get to the questions in the comments just because we have so many people waiting to come on camera. Let's go ahead and get started today. And it looks like Moses is ready to go. Hi, Moses. Oh, Moses is out of here. How about Daniel? Daniel, you with us?
Hey, how's it going, Jim? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
Good. I have a few questions. I got married in May 28th, 2021, and then I filed to adjustment of status, and I got an update. I got an email on February 28th, 2023. It's a courtesy letter requesting that I send the medical exam. So
Great.
I did not submit the initial initially I did not submit it with the original document because I was anticipating that I was gonna take it to the interview, So,
Yep.
but okay, but I did a research and I saw that people were actually getting similar type of emails, and it does not update on your original USCIS online account, or you don't receive any kind of letter. It's just like an email that they sent out. And then on my research, people actually responded to that email that they received, and they actually got approved. So that was actually legit. So my question was, on the email, it doesn't specifically say like send it by this day, and this is gonna be where we're gonna be processing it. This is the deadline or anything like that. It doesn't specifically say that. So I completed my medical, and as I said, I was married in May 28th, 2021. So it was about to be 2 years for my marriage. It's gonna be like in 2 years in May 2023. So my question is like, if I wait to send the medical up until I get the 2 year mark, because I don't want to get like I don't want to get like the conditional one. It's gonna take like 4 years to get to remove the condition and things like that. So my question is like, is it possible for me to just wait it out, because it does not really say, when it's gonna be when I should submit the medical, So
I don't
you
like to
understand my
be
question?
that. I don't like to be that clever. I don't like to try to game it. I would just send it in. I understand why you don't want to do the removal of conditions. It's not 4 years. Um, it wouldn't affect when
Oh,
you can apply for citizenship. So I understand there's a filing fee with the 751, and it's a little bit more of a hassle. But I just think that things take so long at USCIS that it's better to just keep things moving. And I don't play a lot of games trying to figure out, oh, if I hold it back, am I not going to have to do a 751? You can if you want, but I wouldn't do that.
oh, okay. So like the worst that can happen is like they can send like what can they send, like an RFE or something, or
Yeah,
interview,
they could
or
send a formal RFE. But
okay, so that
you're talking about letting your case sit for how long? Like 3 or 4 months?
I received the email on February 28th.
Yeah.
So
And what's
and
your
then my
anniversary?
anniversary is gonna be May 28th. So it's like
That's 3
3 months.
months. Yeah. It's up to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause like I it's like a tough situation, It's kinda like the worst that can happen is like I guess they can officially send the RFE, right? Which is they're gonna change the policy, right, for 60 days or something to respond to that or something like that. I read somewhere.
Well, yeah, there's the COVID extension is probably going to go away here pretty soon. It hasn't yet. So, but you said the email that you received didn't even include a deadline.
Yeah, I didn't have a deadline, anything like that. It just says like, hey, send it
Yeah,
to this
I would I would send it right away, but I understand why you're asking.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. All right, that was my question, thank you.
Thanks, Daniel. See you, buddy. All right, for everybody in the waiting room, remember I need to see you on camera so that I know there's a live person there. I always take the people on camera first. Let's say hi to Nathan. Hi, Nathan.
Good afternoon, Jim. Can you hear me?
I got you.
G'day. I normally watch from Seattle, but I'm down under in New Zealand today. I've got just a couple of quick questions. Firstly, thank you for what you do. You're bloody awesome. I've had my employment-based green card now for about 5 years, so I'm thinking about going for citizenship. But I'm confused about the 5 years. I've done a little bit of travel in and out of the US over the last 5 years. Do I need to subtract do I need to calculate the time that I've had out of the country and add that to the 5 years? Or is it literally just a 5-year end-to-end date, if you know what I mean?
You don't need to add, you don't have like if let's say total you've been outside 40 days, you don't have to wait 540 days. The question is on the day that you file, have you spent at least 2.5 years out of the 5 in the United States?
Okay, that's simple. Second question. I'm thinking about a midlife career change and interested in getting into immigration law. How would you, any suggestions how you'd kind of get into that? Would it be doing a paralegal certificate or any little tips and tricks around that?
What's your background currently?
IT, but I've been fascinated by law, law for years and years and years.
Yeah, so what I would do probably is I would look at paralegal stuff, maybe work in the field for a while as a paralegal, and then think if I want to go to law school. Law school is expensive.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Once again, thanks for what you do, mate.
Thanks, Nathan.
Cheers.
Have a safe trip back. All right, bye,
Thank
buddy.
you.
All right. The one thing I wanted to ask Nathan that I forgot was whether he had any trips more than 6 months. That's always one thing that we're worried about. Oh, looks like Moses is back. Hi, Moses.
Yeah. Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Foremost, I want to say thank you, and I want to appreciate you for what you're doing. You are the big hope for most immigrants in the United States. I've been following you for some time now, and I'm glad you were able to put me on the line to ask a concerning question that I have.
Go for it.
My story goes back to 2020. So I came into the United States 2020. Then I got married. I came in June 2020. Then I got married January 2021. Then February I filed for a change of status. But before I filed for change of status, I was 2 or 3 days overstayed my 6 months visa. So after I filed, then by around June of the same month, I was able to to submit my and I think around March I was able to submit my papers to the immigration after I got married by January. Then January 2022, I got an interview by the immigration in Chicago. So after the interview, I waited 3 months waiting for a response. Probably I was waiting for approval or disapproval, either or. I mean, it's that's what I was waiting for. Then around March or April, I my status changed. That we didn't show up for an interview on March. So I called the lawyer that I used to get me with the petition. Then the lawyer told me to wait and see until we have a letter response from the immigration. Then they called the immigration that we went for an interview by January, and there was no letter received by me or neither by them. Because if it was a mistake, that they had mistake on my address and the mail didn't come to me, it's impossible they will have mistake on my lawyer's address. So if they don't send any mail that there was another interview set for March, so probably they sent nothing. So
A second interview in March?
yeah, but there was nothing. I don't receive any mail. Neither do my lawyer receive anything. So but after that, 2 weeks, 2 months later, I received a work permit, AED. They sent my work permit and social security to my lawyer. After we complained. So a month after I received my work permit, they sent a mail that my visa my petition was uh, was disapproved because we didn't come for an interview. We didn't show up for an interview. So, and they gave an option to file for appeal or reconsider that, because if I know the decision was in error. So immediately the lawyer filed and for petition to reconsider or reopen my case, because they said my case was closed. So then that made me retain my working permit, so I kept working. So until now, the status on the status doesn't change on their website. It says they received my petition, then to reopen or reconsider, and they will let me know. It's been a year. It's been almost 8 months that I filed for that. There was nothing changed. I kept calling USCIS, but they kept saying I have to wait because they assign it to an officer to decide on that, but they have a lot of cases and I still have to wait. So they told me to call back today. If to call them back, then they will reassign it to another officer. So what do you think I should do in that case? And is it advisable for me to apply for advanced parole to go out while my case is pending in that form?
What country are you from?
I'm a Nigerian.
And you had a B1, B2 visit visa when you came to the United States?
Yes, but I came from the Philippines. I lived in the Philippines, not in Nigeria, for a very long time.
When you got your visit visa to the United States, were you single or were you married?
I was married.
To somebody in the Philippines or somebody in Nigeria?
Somebody in the Philippines.
And did you divorce that person before you came to the United States or after you came to the United States?
Divorced. I came in with her. Then she divorced me after 1 year. She was here. She didn't come back with me, but she divorced because she got married. So she divorced after 1 year of living here, but I was in the Philippines. So when I came back in 2020, staying with my brother. So I've been divorced. She divorced me in Chicago. I mean, in
So let's back up. So when did you get your visit visa to come to the United States?
that was 2000, 2000, I mean 2022. That is 2019.
And you and she applied together for a visit visa to the United States?
Yes, sir.
And you guys came together?
Yes, we came together
And you got divorced from each other inside the United States?
inside the United States. Yes, sir.
And you both married U.S. citizens?
Yes, she got married. Yes, she was U.S. citizen.
And she applied for a green card?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We don't talk that
Well,
much.
is she still in the United States?
Yeah, she's still in the United States.
And she's married to a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
If you had to guess, do you think she did file for a green card?
Probably yes, or
Yeah.
probably.
So tell me about your first interview. How did it go? Oh, Moses is out again. We'll try to get back to Moses. If he comes back, he might be having some connection issues, or he might not have liked my questions. Let's see what Imran has to say. Hi, Imran.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I am actually in Nairobi, Kenya,
Great.
but I'm a refugee in Kenya. I'm Somali.
Yeah.
So my father is a citizen of US. He filed a visa. I think it's a migrant. I think so. So
Your father's a U.S. citizen and he filed for you. Is that what you said?
yeah,
Okay.
I
When
think
did
it's
he
a
file?
family. It was 2019. I had an interview 2019 November.
You had an interview in 2019. So he filed. How old are you?
I am 22.
Okay. All right. So what's the question?
The question is, November 2019 until now, my case is still used because of administrative process.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I email them, they always say that it will take 90 days or longer. So, is there anything that's can do?
Yeah, you should have your dad send the paperwork over to our office to look about suing them. They're probably sitting on the case because they feel like they can't finish a background check on you because you're from Somalia but living as a refugee in Kenya. So your dad's probably going to need to sue them to get you your visa.
No, he didn't sue them. He didn't sue.
No, I'm saying he needs to sue them.
Problem now, I'm searching a lawyer. Can you do that for me, please?
Can I sue them for you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite thing to do for sure. Yeah, tell your dad to email over your receipt notice, or if you have it, the receipt notice, the interview notice at the embassy, all that stuff. Send it to this email address, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, and we'll take care of it.
So okay. What's the cost?
The cost is $4,600 plus $402, so it's $5,002.
Okay. And the other question is, it was the other Friday that I checked on online for my visa status. So it didn't change anything, but the only thing that it changed is the last updated.
Yeah, I don't pay much attention to what it says online just because it's always wrong.
Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you,
Okay.
Jim.
Thanks, Imran. Make sure when you send us the paperwork that you tell them that you were on the show, okay?
Okay.
All right, bye, Imran. Sharon's up next. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Jim. How are you? I'm from Kenya as well, just like Imran.
Can
you hear me?
I can barely hear you.
All right. How about now?
Much better, thank you. But now you're on mute. You're on mute, Sharon. Sharon, you're on mute. Sharon's on mute. Must be those headphones. We'll come back. Farhan, you're up.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so Jim, I have a question. My wife filed in spousal petition for me. I'm in India, so uh, we are DQ'd at last year, November 2nd. So after that, my wife was staying with me, and then she went back to the US on October last year.
Okay.
We are expecting our interview to be about 3 to 4 months from now, based on the traffic at the Mumbai Embassy.
Okay.
So we have a few questions like regarding DS-260 updation, because some things have changed from when we have filed the DS-260 and now. So, like, how do we do it before the interview?
How do you do what?
DS-260 updation, like if you have to,
Oh,
uh,
I'm sure it's locked, right?
yeah, it's logged. We cannot make any changes right now.
Yeah, you just got to wait. You'll have to deal with that at the interview. Is it big stuff or little stuff?
My spouse's address. So at that time, she was in India. We have mentioned about the mailing address of a relative in US, but now her address has changed. Address as in where she lives.
Yeah,
It's
that's okay.
the
That's that you don't need to worry about that. You can deal with that at the interview if it comes up. Nobody really cares about that.
Okay, and one more thing regarding actually my father's current address. It's mentioned as current address. So my father has a, he switches country often, like because he's working in Somalia as a project manager, and then he like for 4 months, and he has a 2 month vacation. So when we filled the DSO60, he was in India for 2 months. It was mentioning current address, so we mentioned India, but right now he's in Somalia, and when he comes back, like we are suppose if he comes back and he is in India at the time of interview, should I mention about it or not? Like
Only if they ask.
ask as in
Only if they
like
ask you. Don't bring when you go to your interview, you don't bring stuff up. You just answer the questions and you answer them honestly, but you don't add stuff.
okay. One more thing. Suppose if he's in India, so should I update that because it's
How would you
like
update it? How would you do that?
because update as in because it's updation is not required at that time because uh, the address which I wrote at that point of time and the address at the time of interview would be the same.
Yeah, so it's
Like
okay. Just wait and see if they ask.
okay, but how would they usually don't ask about these
Right.
things, right?
So then I don't know why you're worrying about it.
Okay. So like because if he's in Somalia at point of interview at the time of interview, I'll have to change that at the interview like
If they
that.
ask, if they ask, do you have any updates? Or if for some crazy reason, is your dad still in India, which they're not going to ask you, just whatever they ask you, answer them honestly, and that's it.
Okay, okay. Okay, that's it, Jim. And one more thing, Jim,
Sure.
like about my wife. She was in India with me for almost 1.5 year. Uh, one like around 1.5 years, and from about 7 months she's living in the US. So at the time of interview, if I call my wife like for support, would it be an issue for domicile?
As long as she's kept property and is in America at the time of the interview, domicile probably won't come up.
As in if she comes back to visit me at the time of interview, would it be an issue for domicile?
It could be. I don't know. Like I
Oh
said, has she kept her property? Has she paid her taxes? Did she keep her job? Did she bring everything to India? I don't know.
no, we
Whatever.
have a joint sponsor and she has a job over there, like she got a job over there, she's working over there, and she plans to keep her job and just for a visit like a month or so she comes to India at that point of time. Would
Yeah,
it create an issue?
I'd rather she not be in India at the time of the interview. But
Okay,
if that's how it breaks, that's how it breaks.
okay, 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 Jim. Okay, thank you,
Thanks
Jim.
for hunt. See you, buddy. All right. Looks like Moses came back. Hello, Moses.
Hi, sir. Thank you. I'm sorry, my network was very
That's
bad.
okay. That's okay. So we had established that you okay, so when the person that you married, the American citizen that you married, did you know them before you came to the United States?
Yes, we've been. No, we were friends. Uh, I used to come to the United States before I decided to stay. They have known her dating before we got married.
But after you were divorced or before you were divorced?
After divorce, so.
Okay, and how was your first interview? Was your first interview good or bad? Did your lawyer come with you to the first interview?
The first interview was okay. I went. We went along. No lawyers. But during the interview, my my wife told the officer she wanted to use the restroom during the interview. We were not separated; it was joint interview. We were both being interviewed simultaneously. So during the interview, she says she wants to use the bathroom, and the officer warned her that if she leaves, she has to keep interviewing me alone without her. So I told her, I said, yeah, because there was nothing to hide. I believe we should be able to handle every question, and she has to use the bathroom. So she left to use the bathroom. So the officer continued with me, asked some questions. So when she did not allow her to come back until she's done with me. So automatically it was turned to like stroke
So
interview.
you created your own stroke interview.
Kind of. So when after when she came back, so I have to keep quiet. I mean, then she interviewed her. We answered the same question accurately, as everything was the same, but it got to a point because we use a sponsor. So it got to a point that my wife and the officer had argument, like fighting, not not fight, but an argument, because she told her, I mean, based on her income, she's ineligible to sponsor. I mean, to petition to give me uh, immigration benefit. So I think that was a kind of build up sentences to a question the officer wanted to ask me, that if she knew who was our sponsor. I think that was supposed to be the question, but there was a statement made that due to your income, you are ineligible to have to give a pay, to have to be a sponsor. I mean, to be a sponsor to give benefit to your husband. So she got angry. My wife got angry, and they started having altercation until I came in to keep them low. So that was the only bad thing I think we had during the interview. And she just asked a couple of more questions after that. Then she said we're done. And I asked her if, or like, what next? She said she will get back to us if we get, they would let us know. She would let us know if or if it's granted or not. That was her last word. So probably she just got angry and messed up our fight. I was thinking that was what happened.
So then after that, apparently they sent you a second interview notice, which you never got, your attorney never got, and then they
Yes.
denied the case, saying that
Yes,
you
sir.
guys didn't show up for the second interview.
Yes, sir.
And then your attorney filed a motion to reopen or reconsider, saying that neither you nor the attorney ever received notice of the second interview.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Moses, a couple things. One, you gave me a good topic for TikTok tomorrow, which is don't go to the bathroom while your green card interview is going on. That's one. And the other one is, and literally, Moses, I've been an immigration lawyer for 15 years. I've never had a client or their spouse asked to go to the bathroom during an interview. I've actually never even thought of it or had that happen.
They happened now. I mean,
Yeah. Now we know.
I broke a record.
You broke a record. The other one is, now this other one I have had happen, and that is, you gave me 2 TikToks, one for tomorrow, one for the next day. The one for the next day is, don't fight with the officer. Don't fight with the person who can give your husband his green card. So here's the deal, my friend. This case has a lot of problems. A lot of problems. Number one, they don't like it when people go to the embassy and get a visit visa and say, "Oh yeah, I'm coming back. I'm married. Of course I'm going to come back." And then they don't come back. They don't like it when they come and marry someone. You know, that question I asked you, did you know this person ahead of time? There's an old question under the law, which is, have you stopped beating your wife? Because when you say, have you stopped beating your wife? If you say yes, that means you were beating your wife. If you say no, that means you're still beating your wife. So either way, it's a bad answer. Well, that's the same with the question of, did you know the person before you entered the United States? That's a third TikTok I can do. Know them before. And the reason that's a bad question is because if you say yes, then it looks like you were planning it before you came. And I don't want you to answer. I'm just telling you what they view. And if you say no, then they say, well, then you got married really fast and you were just coming here looking for a spouse. So it's almost like, have you stopped beating your wife? But it's like, how long did you know your spouse before you entered or not? That was weird. Nigerian men cases are number 1 on their list. And then the last one is, she left and went away left to go to the bathroom and invited the Stokes, and then fighting with the officer and then missing the interview. That's like an easy way for them to deny the case. So
I think I lost you, Jim. I don't know if you're hearing me.
Can you hear me now? Cooley, can you hear me? Yeah. Moses, you can't hear me? Oh, man. This is not supposed to be happening. I'm wired to the internet. I'm not even...
Yeah. No, can you hear you, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So your case has a lot of problems, Moses. What's your question for me? Are you asking me what I think the chances are of you getting a green card, or did you have some other question for me?
Yes. Do you think there will be a green card, or I should just think of something else?
I think this officer is going to do everything they can to keep you from getting a green card. That's what I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Do
you think I can have an advance parole to go out while the case is pending, or it's not advisable?
So for the record, over the weekend, for the very first time, I've always worried about this. People say, this never happens, but it actually happened. I got an email from somebody. She's been emailing me all weekend. Her husband got advance parole. He left the United States. They denied his green card while he was out on advance parole, and they revoked his advance parole. So if you can live with that chance, go ahead. Otherwise, that would be the dumbest thing you could do.
Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your insight in this case.
Good luck, Moses. All right, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Well, wait a minute. All right. So, Julio, are you hearing me okay? Technologically, we're okay. It looks like there's people in the waiting room. It looks like some people got disconnected. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to keep going. Olu's here. Olu, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, even though the microphone is kind of low, but I can still hear you good.
My microphone is low?
Yes.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, go ahead, Olu. How you doing?
Thank you, Jim, for what you do. I wanted to call your attention to something and then also ask a question.
Go for it.
Okay, so when I initially filed my adjustment of status, I filed just the I-485 and the 765 without filing the I-131.
Yeah.
Then I listened to your video that says always file advance parole with your adjustment of status.
That sounds like something I would say.
Yes, yes. So 4 months after I sent in the I-131, the advanced parole application, that's 4 months after my application went in. Now, the surprising thing is that the advanced parole has been approved, but the 765 is still pending and the I-485 is still pending. Now, is that something that is normal? That's my first question. And if you were to assess, what would you think the state of my application is right now, since advanced parole was approved before the 765?
Is the basis for the green card marriage, or is it something else?
It's marriage. It's marriage, right?
And what's the receipt date for the 485 and the 765?
The receipt date is April 2022.
And when did you file for advanced parole?
I filed for the advanced parole in October of 2022.
And when did you get it? Like recently?
I got it February 28th of this year.
So like 6 months.
Yes, 6 months after it went around.
So in answer to your question, I can't think of a time where someone's gotten advanced parole before the work card. That's very unusual. Maybe it's because you filed it separately. I don't know. But maybe people in the comments will have something to say. But that's very, very rare. Usually people get their green cards before they get advanced parole.
That's what everybody has been telling me, because everyone that I've told, they said, oh, that is unusual. They have never heard that before.
I haven't.
I feel like I am the first person who is experiencing it. You know?
Yeah, and so then the question is, what's up with my work card? Now, any problems with the 45, anything? Like, were you in status at the time you filed, or were you out of status at the time?
No, I was out of status.
Yeah, so I do think that they hold back the work card now as part of like punishment for being out of status.
Oh, okay.
And that's
okay,
that's
that
the way
makes sense.
That's the way I view it. I don't think they would say it that way, but that's how I view it. And maybe your advanced parole just sort of snuck through, because that's unusual too, that you filed it separately. But maybe that's a trick for everybody. Maybe wait until the 765 and the 45 get receipted and then mail in the advanced parole. Maybe we'll try the new OLU rule.
Okay, well, that's pretty much my question. That have you seen that case before? You know, where the advanced parole gets approved without the 765.
Yeah,
and,
no.
So I'm just waiting right now, right?
Yeah, well, let us know. Yeah, you're just waiting. Let us know how that all goes, okay?
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you very much, Jim.
Bye, buddy. See ya.
Bye.
All right. That was Olu. Ismail's back. Ismail, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Jim? Good, thank you.
I'm well. You know, that's my firstborn son's name is Ismail. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful name.
Yeah, well, my wife told me that she was pregnant when we were in Saudi Arabia for Umrah. So she named him. We were going to name him Ismail because of the Zamzam water. So go ahead.
Oh, nice. So I have a couple of questions. My brother, he's adjusted his status through marriage.
Okay.
He sent the last paperwork for the he needed to get a pardon. And he sent it in March of 2019. So he's waiting for the interview to go out to Juarez and adjust at that consulate there. But he hasn't heard anything since then.
So okay, so he's a visa overstay, or he entered without inspection?
Without inspection. He was it 3 years old when he got here. He has his DACA.
He's got DACA. And did you say something about he needed a pardon?
Yes, well, that for being here without,
okay. I thought you meant like a criminal pardon. You mean a waiver? He needs a waiver.
Yeah, the waiver. Yeah, he got that. He sent everything in, and he's just waiting for the interview appointment.
When did the waiver get approved?
Back in late 2018.
And his DACA is still valid?
Yes, yeah, he's been renewing it. I've been helping him with that, and
the only waiver that he needs is for the unlawful entry and the overstay. Nothing else, no crimes or anything?
no crimes, nothing. Yeah.
Have you guys looked at all about the possibility of getting advanced parole through DACA and then trying to use that as the entry and not needing the waiver?
I was gonna ask you on that because it's underneath, that I've seen one before, but it says that the reentry is not, guaranteed. How do you feel on that?
It's not guaranteed, but so far, every time we've done it, it's worked, and it's a hell of a lot faster than waiting for Juarez. I mean, Philippines, CJ, they're like the slowest of the slow. So
Yeah.
I'd want to talk to your brother, look at all the documents and everything, but
Okay.
even as far along as he's been waiting, I could still see us recommending possibly
Advanced
that
parole.
he try that route. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have him send that to you then, and
Yeah.
that way we could get him going. And second question, is there a provisional waiver? I think it's called, right?
Well, that should be what he applied for, the 601A.
Yeah, for parents at all that you know of?
Yeah. I don't think I'd have to check to see if children qualify as a qualifying relative for a 601A. I don't do that many of them, so I'd have to check.
Okay. Yeah, because my brother was born here, and he's
U.S. citizen
25 now, so
he's 25.
Mm-hmm.
Has he filed I-130s for them?
Not yet. They're super stubborn, old school,
and scared.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But they've been here now since
well,
the early
let's
90s,
look at your one brother stuff first, and then we can talk about your parents.
Okay. Sounds good. And,
thanks, Ismail.
Thank you, sir.
See you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, there's two Ismails on here because I got disconnected. All right, listen. So I told you guys the other day that we got a negative review for having fees that were too high. We now have 2 people telling me my fees are too high. And guess what? We're going to raise our fees at the end of the month. So most likely. So I could really use a favor. If you like the show and if you feel like it's brought value to you, if you could take 60 seconds, literally 60 seconds, and go to reviewhackinglaw.com and leave us a 5-star review. I got to balance out those negative reviews because it dropped us from 4.9 stars to 4.8 because people don't like our fees. And I would love to be able to do everything we do for free, but we've got to pay the bills and we've got to make a living. So I'm sorry about the amount of our fees, but I'm not going to apologize for them. All right. Let's see who's here. Aloha? You're on mute.
I'm sorry.
That's
Hello?
Okay. How you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
Great. What's up?
Okay, so I am about to apply for citizenship. And so before I got my green card on November 16th of 2021, I was 26-year-old on August 20th.
Wait, so which came first? You got your green card first or you turned 26 first?
I turned 26 first.
And then you got your green card.
And then I got my green card. So technically I was out of status.
Technically you're out of status? Why? What? So you were in the United States.
Yes.
And you were out of status and then you married a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And then you got a green card?
Yes, after I turned 26.
Okay. Yep.
And there's that selective services part that I did not register for because I wasn't I was technically out of status. I did have a social security at some point, but I was out of status.
Right.
So I was wondering, there's like a column on the, and now I'm applying based off because I'm in U.S. military. I'm applying for it based on an N426, I think.
Right.
And then there's that column where they ask about selective services. And my question is, would I just put in that I was out of status at the time?
I would mark yes. I was between the ages of 18 and 26, and I was in the United States. And I would say I was out of status. I did not believe that I had to register. If I did have to register and I didn't, I'm sorry. I would have certainly registered, and I would have certainly been willing to serve, as evidenced by the fact that I'm now in the military. And then I would leave it at that.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to give you any trouble about it.
Thank you so much, sir. And I was wondering, because you mentioned earlier that your firstborn his name was Ismail.
Yeah.
And you said you were in Saudi Arabia for Umrah. I was just wondering if you were a part of the Muslim faith, or.
Oh yeah, I converted 25 years ago. Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your help, sir. And I will definitely leave a review.
Awesome.
I appreciate your help so much.
Yeah, that's
Thank you
great.
so much, sir.
Thank you. See
Have
ya.
a lovely
Good luck
day.
with the military. Stay safe.
Thank you, sir.
All right. What a nice young man he was. Let's say hi to Jutho. Hi, Jutho.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Well, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Thank you. So, I do have two questions, and my first question, I've been in the United States since 2016.
Okay.
And I did apply for asylum since I came here. And I've been here for I think 6 to 7 years, and I still haven't get my interview.
Yeah.
And
here's what I always say: did a lawyer file your asylum case?
I'm sorry.
My first question when people call me to talk about a delayed asylum case is whether a lawyer filed their case or they filed their case on their own.
I mean, it wasn't a lawyer. It was someone that know. It wasn't a lawyer, and it wasn't. There was someone that I knew,
like a fake lawyer.
Yeah, who helped me fight.
So that always gets me worried, because fake lawyers always like to throw extra stuff in asylum cases that might not be true.
Okay.
Is there anything in your application that you're worried about might have been embellished or not be fully true?
I mean, everything is true.
Okay. All right. So what we suggest in situations like this, we've been waiting a really long time. And if I sued them tomorrow, they would schedule you for an interview in about a month or two. Okay. I have no doubt that they would schedule you for the interview. But your case is 6 years old, and a lot has happened to you in your life, and a lot has happened back in your home country. So the way that we handle these is we say, Jutho, send us the asylum case, and we'll work to make it better and fresher and newer and stronger. And then once everything's ready, once you feel everything's ready, once we feel everything's ready, then we sue them, right? So because they schedule you for an interview so fast when you sue them on a 6-year delay asylum case, that you don't want to have to be doing all that after we sue them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we get the case ready for an interview, we get you ready for the interview, and then we sue them, and then they schedule your interview pretty darn quick.
Okay. So, and because I've been when I applied for asylum, I was in DC at that time. I was in 20, and I moved to Houston, Texas. 2 years after that. Is that going to be a problem?
Did you update your address with the asylum office?
Yeah, I've been updating my address every time online.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's not why your case is delayed. It's just there's just cases from 2016, 2015, 2017 that have just been delayed. That won't be a problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And my second question is, I do have a girlfriend, and we plan to get married.
Yeah.
And we do have a 2 years old baby boy. How can I? Do you think that would be benefit for me, or which?
Is that person a U.S. citizen?
No, she's not yet, but she has a green card. She's been here for. We came almost the same time, and we meet over here, but she has a green card. She's about to apply for citizenship.
Yeah. So I would either get married whenever you want, but I would not spend the money on a lawsuit. I would not spend time working on my asylum case. I would focus on getting her citizenship and then having her file for you.
Okay. Do you know how long does it take after we file the after we get married? How long does it take to get a green card or anything?
Well, I mean, when can she file for citizenship? When's the first day she can file?
I mean, she can file like in 2 months.
Okay, so let's say she files
May.
Let's say she files June 1st. If she files June 1st, Houston's pretty busy. She'll probably have an interview and get her citizenship like February, March this time next year, and then she applies for you, and it's probably a year and a half from then.
Okay. All right.
But your asylum case will probably still be pending.
Okay. All right.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jutho. See you, buddy.
All right. See you.
All right. All right. Mohammed's up next. Hi, Mohammed.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just have questions. I filed for my wife when I was green card holder on May 6, 2021.
And your wife is in the United States or outside?
No, outside.
Okay.
She's in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
And when I filed the application for her, we didn't have a baby, but after that we got a baby in 2022.
Awesome.
Okay, but I didn't add him, or I didn't file for him because
you don't have to yet. You don't have to. Only if you become a citizen. Are you going to become a citizen soon?
Yeah, I became citizen last November.
Oh, now you need to file an I-130 for him.
No, I didn't.
But now you need
yet.
to.
No, just my question is, have I filed separate application for him, or just I can add him to my wife? Because
you have to file a new I-130 for him.
Okay, because her case is already approved by USCIS last week.
So get to work and file that I-130 for your son right away. Hopefully they'll catch up to each other, but that kid's not going to be able to come until you get an I-130 approved for him. His own I-130. You can't add him to your wife's.
Okay, and how long it would take if I filed separate file for him?
Probably as long as your wife's case took.
My wife took like two years almost.
Yeah, that's why you should have filed this back in November. You got to file it right away because it's going to take a while, at least a year and a half.
Yeah, but I'm a U.S. citizen right now.
Yeah, it does. I don't think that matters much.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Mohammed. See you, buddy.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to, let's see who we got. Nana's here. Hi, Nana.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me, please?
I can. It's a little bit light. If you talk a little louder, that'd be great.
Hi, can you hear me?
That's better. Thank you.
Right. So I've got about 2 questions. So I'm a British citizen. I'm married to a US citizen.
Great.
And how do you call it? I got married in the United States on visa waiver. So my question is it going to affect anything with regard to filing? Because my wife has put in the I-130 for me.
So,
but I'm not in the US. I came back to England.
Okay. Well, when did you enter?
I entered in December of last year.
And how many days passed between when you entered and when you got married?
Just about 2 weeks. But I mean, I've been coming and going because she was my girlfriend anyway. So we've been dating. I've been coming and going out of the States. I'm in the military, so I don't live in the United States.
When you came through the customs and they asked you, why are you coming to the United States? What did you say?
Okay, they never really asked me why exactly. I mean, they were like, yeah, so what's the purpose of your visit? And I was like, yeah, to see my girlfriend, and then also spend time with my family.
So they don't like it when you say you're coming to see your girlfriend and get married 2 weeks after you enter.
Mm.
They don't like that.
Mm.
They think you sort of snuck in to get married. Now, you didn't stay and apply for a green card, so I think that should be okay. So the plan is now she's going to file an I-130 for you from the United States with you in England. Is that the plan?
Yes, exactly. I mean, the plan was never to how do you call it, stay and then adjust status or anything. We just wanted to get married, so we got married, and then
Right.
I left the United States. So I mean,
yeah. So I've actually had this happen a couple times where people get married on. The rule is that you're not supposed to get married until 60 days after arrival, but that rule usually only applies to people who are trying to adjust status on that same trip. So the fact that you left and went back to your life in England, they'll probably like that better. But you probably need to be ready at your visa interview to be able to explain why you said, I'm coming to see my girlfriend, and then get married 14 days after you arrive.
Okay, it was a visa waiver, so I've already had the visa waiver a long time, like on my passport.
That's helpful. That's helpful, but I'm talking about what you said to the officer when you came through customs.
Oh, right. And
so I don't think it's a deal breaker, but I think that you're going to have to be ready for it.
Right. Also, my second question over here is, so prior to me getting married, I had applied for the diversity visa lottery. So this is just in case I win. Can I process that one? Or, I mean, because I've got an I-130 pending. So
I wouldn't. Did you get selected in the lottery?
No. The results is not out yet. So.
Don't even worry about that.
Right. Okay.
That's going to be slower even than the I-130, and you just don't want to mess with it. You got a much cleaner route by being married to a U.S. citizen.
Yeah. And my final question, final. So I'm in the UK military. I am coming to my government is bringing me to the United States, Texas, for work. So I'm not actually going to go through the United States CBP. So whilst I'm in the United States via my military work, is it possible for me to get out and then come back in? Because I plan to sort of take a 3-day trip, with my wife when I come in for work. I mean, I'm going to be granted a few holidays. So I plan to go to Mexico and then back into the States. But again, because this is not me actually coming there, my government is bringing me. So it is.
Yeah, but Mexico is you.
Well, yes, it's me, but I'm still, on the ticket of the military. It's just that it is just maybe we call it R&R in the military.
Yeah, I know R&R. Yeah. So when you started talking about going on R&R before you said Mexico, I started to get nervous because you don't have a true admission because you're coming through the military. So when you said R&R to go to New Orleans or Miami, that made me nervous. But then to think we're going to take R&R and go out of the country, that really makes me nervous.
Right. Okay. So it's just better to stay in there.
I think so.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Jim.
Bye, Nana.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. Thanks to Huli for watching the phones. Thanks to Skyla for answering the phones. Thanks, everybody, for your comments. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central. If you want to get in that waiting room before we start, you want to text the word SHOW, SHOW, to 314-470-3300. In the meantime, check out our TikTok. We got some good topics for tomorrow and the days to come. And you can find us there at Immigration Hacking, And then if you have 60 seconds and could leave us that 5-star review, we would greatly appreciate it. Thanks to Henry and everybody else who left us that review. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Thanks.